Starting Dirt Finder this entire time? Here's a letter from the mayor, Jeff Jefferson. The 13th? Yeah, X is 10 by 3s. Okay, yeah, the 13th. Dirt Finder. Someone with too much time and egg on their hands has seen fit to bombard my magnificent abode with ballistics most foul. Don't ask me why. I'm as fair and noble as a mayor as this town has ever seen. As I'm sure you appreciate, security is at a premium right now. So I'm afraid I won't be allowing you onto my property. Instead, I provided you with a voucher for an extra long washer extension. It's the cheapest one. I'm not made of money. One last thing. There might be a small element of graffiti on the gates. Please remove that as well while you're out there. Much obliged. JJ13. Oh my. Oh my. Okay. So, welcome back, everybody. This is the mayor's mansion. He's not going to let me on the property, so he wants me to clean this bad boy from out here. Which is fine. I guess they couldn't get in to do any damage anywhere else except the front. You remember in the last episode, I said that this must be like the final stage of the game or something. Like we've power washed now for what feels like an eternity, and here we are. I looked it up, I Googled it, and apparently we're at the halfway point. There's still a ton of game left. So we're going to be here for a long time. Yeah. Which is fine. I love this game. I love coming out here and pressure washing. It's fun. It's soothing. It gives me a little break in between games that we're playing on the channel. A nice, little mental break. I have an email. Happy MLK Day from my bank. I guess that is coming up, isn't it? Branches be closed January 19th. Ooh. Yeah. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day, everybody. Both today and the day. The official day. I'm kind of glad he's not here today to see the atrocities that we live in. I wish he were here, but at the same time, like, you ever have somebody from history, like a historical figure that you respect and that you like? That could be anybody. I'm just asking a general question. And they've long since passed away, whether they're from hundreds of years ago, thousands, whatever, a decade, doesn't matter. But someone of you is glad that they didn't live. Hell, it could even be a grandparent. It could be anybody, really, that you care about. And you're just kind of low-key glad that they don't see the absolute cartoon that we live in nowadays. And it's funny because you think back to all those 80s movies that showed dystopian futures about how there wasn't enough food to go around, and they always color graded the film to make it look gray or not gray, but orange or whatever, like it was post-nuclear or some bullshit. Oh, if they could only have imagined. Back to the Future 2 got close with Biff Tannen being Trump. Of course, Gremlins 2, it also, did the whole Trump Tower thing. Um, but yeah, I've avoided talking about politics on my channel for a long time now, but given the fact that we're here doing the mayor's mansion, I might or might not choose to talk about that stuff today. It just all depends. I quit paying attention to politics and the general news. Like I've said this on my channel a lot recently, or in 2025 I said it a lot. We're officially in 2026 now, but one of the things I had to do was only follow gaming accounts on threads and what have you, because I just couldn't. I mean, it's to the point to where you're taking mental damage. You're damaging your own mental health by looking at the news every day. Even South Park could not manage the level of crazy that we've entered into. Because that last season of South Park was not great at all, and it was just because they were attacked by Trump and his fucking gang of nonsense. But yeah, like I had the epiphany last night. Actually, the game might be too loud. Let me see. Let me turn it down a smidge. I don't know how loud the game is. But yeah, last night I got to thinking, and it dawned on me. I think Trump made a wager to see if he could run for president, get elected, and do as much damage as possible. Like him and his millionaire buddies were probably sitting around one day and they were like, there's no way we could actually get elected for president and then slap our name and logo on everything. And I had this epiphany because apparently Trump has added his name to this Kennedy Space Center, which is probably the thing that has made me the most mad in a while. It's almost like he wants his. It's kind of like the government's for sale. You know what I mean? All you need is an uneducated public who's had a century or two of brainwashing using religion and post World War II nationalism. Of course, I honestly don't think he was elected the second time. I thought he found a. I think he found a way to buy the election for the second go. The first time, I buy it. It was a very close race, and then he did lose to Biden on the second time around. But then that third time, he won. I think he bought it. Like I don't know what he did. I don't know whose palms he greased. Kind of like with President Bush. President Bush was a two-term president. Shouldn't have been. He won the first time. He didn't actually win the second time. He won the first time because post 9/11, America was really riled up and they wanted like a war-hungry, American, cliche Republican president. But yeah, he didn't win the second time. He cheated his ass off to become president the second time. And sometimes with these men, it's a status thing. Like, oh, I'll go down in history. I served and did this, and look at all my achievements. And I think that's partially part of it for Trump. He's a severe narcissist. So I think having his name plastered all over everything, is kind of gonna. Because let's face it, he's at the end of his life. He's 70 something years old. He eats McDonald's every day. He doesn't exercise. He's not in the best health. The fucker will live to be 110 years old and piss us all right off. And of course, I have to be careful about what I say in regards to that because YouTube has really been cracking down lately. But yeah, I had to stop paying attention because it gets worse every day. But I think that's going to be my conspiracy theory that I plant my flag on. I think that he bet his buddies that he could run for president, win, slap his name all over everything, run amok, hire and fire whoever he pleases, like just all the bullshit he's done. At this point, it's so outlandish. I have a hard time believing any human being like him is real. I had to have been a bet. Had to have been a bet. Mission spot. Okay, I think I got everything. Rochon. Do 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 do. Boy, you must have really pissed some people off. And of course, dumb stupid aside, no politician, no one human being for that matter, can please all of the people all of the time. I don't remember how that famous saying goes, pleasing all of the people all the time, some of the people some of the time. I don't remember. But essentially, yeah. You can, like, as a politician, your main goal should be trying to serve the public best you can and do the most good for the most people. That's generally the golden rule for being a politician. Of course, for me personally, it's kind of the way I live my life too. Somewhat of a, definitely utilitarian mindset there. I like to maximize and do the most good for the most people possible. And if that means sacrificing one person and throwing them under the bus, I'll do it. I don't want to do it, but we don't live in a cartoon. So when I was a kid growing up, every video game, everything I read, every show or movie I saw tried to sensationalize reality and teach me that I didn't need to believe in black, not black and white, that I didn't need to believe in, that I needed to believe everything was black and white, basically. Um, you know, you need to do your best for everyone. You need to make sure every single person, is taken care of. You just can't. It's too many humans alive on the planet. You can't. It's unrealistic. One person can't do it all. But and I have, I've struggled for years now with misanthropic ideals. I don't have my ladder. You're not gonna give me the ladder? Oh, it's not. Yeah, I've struggled with that now for years because when I was younger, I went through the whole notion of like, well, uh, you got to be the good guy. You got to make sure that you treat everybody the way you want to be treated. The golden rule, if you will. I just realized my face cam was off. My bad. I must have hit the Z button. Um, but yeah, you gotta go. You gotta live your life based on the golden rule. And you gotta try and you know you gotta try. I gave up on humanity there for a little while though. I really did. I gave up on people. Like, if aliens came to Earth and they like judged us as a species, they would judge us harshly. And I don't blame them. If you look throughout human history, it's not been great. But as I've said in the past, you know, I did my part. I did my civic duty. I voted. I spent hours of my adult life listening to candidates speak, Googling, reading, researching. Oh my God, the amount of reading I've done is stupid. Um, Watching videos, trying to discern who's lying and who's not lying. Of course, if a politician is awake and talking, they're usually lying. That's my takeaway. But you know, I tried to listen to the policies that they were going to enact or uphold or whatever. I did the best I could. And I think at the end of the day, that's all anyone can really ask for. Because I voted in every presidential election since I became old enough to vote. Hey, look, little UFO. And of course, I always vote blue because while they're not perfect, it is the lesser of two evils, always. Always. But unfortunately, that ship has sailed for me. I um I don't care anymore. Which ultimately is kind of, I don't know if that's outright directly what they want you to do, but I know, again, like I said, the more misinformed and poorly educated you are, they just kind of want you to shut up, work until you're dead, pay as many taxes as you can, and own nothing, travel nowhere, don't retire, and consume, consume, consume. Like, it's, our society is very gross. And it's funny because the opposite, like, the only other system in play on earth right now outside of capitalism is communism, which also doesn't work. So what am I to do? You know, what do you do? You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. Which is why I don't pay attention to local politics. I only go vote for the president because I feel that's just too important to be left to how you know, feel about stuff. That's too important to just say, I don't care anymore. No, I still have to at least do that, if nothing else. Nothing else, I have to go do that. Okay. Da, 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 da. So we're going to have to use the long nozzle to be able to reach. No. Let's see. Da, 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 da. By power washer, medium, heavy, professional. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough money. I don't know if I'm going to be able to reach. Let's see if we can equip the new nozzle at least. What was it? Prime Vista extra long extension. And this extra long extension, not nozzle. Ah, okay. Maybe we're not as boned as I thought we were. I'd say a lot of us have been waiting on him to finish his terms so we can get somebody else in there. But the scary thing is, he's set precedents now. Like he's shown the world that any wild, crazy, unhinged, narcissistic psychopath can get elected and do whatever they want, basically. Because right now he keeps doing things without the approval of Congress, which is a huge no-no, and it's scary. The only thing scarier is the people who co-sign his like his actions. But again, that's decades or better, a century or better of just like generally polarizing the public. You know what I mean? Teaching the general public it's them versus us mentality instead of trying to teach each generation that it's all us, there is no them. They've done a very good job of breaking it down to keep us at each other's throats. It's very scary. Now, here's the issue with this. How I this nozzle just ain't cutting it, man. And FedEx is stopping here. Give me 1 second. Let me grab the package from FedEx. I need to send a text. But yeah, now that he's kind of set precedents of he's shown the world that any wild, unhinged psychopath can get in there and do whatever they want. So even if we get rid of him, somebody else is gonna come in and do the same thing, if not worse. And even if we were to clean up Washington and get some sanity back in there, we've the damage that's been done now, it's gonna take decades to repair. ICE for one needs to go. Like that to me feels like the most immediate um, danger. Hmm. Is there not another nozzle that I can buy? Equipment. No, we own everything. Hold up. Actually, no, we don't. Extra long extension. Well, hold on. What did we just buy a minute ago? 1,500 to 3,000. I'll buy this. Uh, hmm. I don't know how well it would help in this situation, but I'll buy it anyway. Oh, this is, it's getting the job done, but it's taken a while. See? Oh, that's goobery. Why don't you just let me onto the property to do this? This is dumb. This feels about the level of stupid that I'd expect from a politician. I'm not expected to get the grant. Okay, cool. Now, how am I supposed to do this with the gate or the fence in the way? Oh, really? Mm. This is janky, but I guess this is how we're going to get this done. I just noticed that bar moves. Has it done this the whole time? In the top corner up there above my head on screen, when you're washing something, the bar actually depletes, showing that you've cleaned, how much of it you've cleaned. Has the game done this whole time? Uh-oh, the mayor sent a text. Apparently other people from the town have reported missing cats too. Oh, is this about to be a full-blown conspiracy? You know, for the first handful of campaigns in this game, we weren't reading all of the on-screen text and stuff. It was the same when I started wearing chinos. I think we might have a narcissist mayor here. I started a trend. Everybody's copying me. Me, 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 me. Okay. I think we can get annoying, but I think we can get the job done like this. Now hold up. Am I missing something on this side? I am. There it is. Doors 82%. I can't believe I've gotten this much done. Uh-huh. I went from Goofy to Banjo there at the end. I don't have anything to stand on here. And I think one of the biggest contributing factors to what messed up America or Americans as a whole society was, again, like post-war consumerism of the 20th century, late 18th or late 19th century. Um, Teaching Americans, oh, there's nothing more American than mom, warm apple pie, the American flag, sitting on the front porch in your rocking chair on a summer evening. Like this country's entire history is basically just baked in conservatism and non-progressive, non-forward moving thinking, like don't think for yourself, don't think too hard, just don't think, just consume, just continue to consume, work and consume. But unfortunately for the United States, they are going to fall so far behind on the world stage, it's not even funny. Because there are, believe it or not, plenty of Americans, myself included, who can't stand when, we come across as that, you know what I mean? We want things to change for the better. We want to constantly work on improving. You know what I mean? I don't want to stagnate. The only difference between, I guess, me and Americans is I'm open to working with other countries. I'm open to opening my borders to other countries, sharing resources, sharing technologies and sciences and medical breakthroughs, as to where most Americans come across as xenophobic and stingy. But history will judge this place long after I'm gone, and it's not going to be kind. This whole country started off with slavery being legal. Yeah, so let that sink in. God, this is so hard to do without being able to walk in there. Why are you so paranoid, Mr. Mayor? Because you run your mouth. You say stupid shit to get you got. Where's the Ghibli one? I need the Ghibli one. There we go. I ain't really getting anything clean, though. Well, Jesus. I'm supposed to. So what I'm trying to do here on this part is just get it as close as I can and hope that it just dings. Can't believe this jerkwad is making me do this from outside the property. Yo, Dick. God almighty. You have to be so hyper focused and really get in there with your eyes. Jesus. Okay, let me see. How am I going to do this? This angle. Well, it's not going to be as thorough a job, Mr. Maya, as it would be otherwise. You can't tie my hands behind my back and expect me to do the best job in the world. You know? Do the best I can, but I hate this stage. I hate it. Hate it. Okay. Lord. Oh. It's like I'm looking, I'm looking, I'm looking. Okay. See a little bit right there. Where else? Where else? Porch. Which honestly is probably the hardest part, you know, being stuck out here and looking in. Ah, there we go. I see a spot. A spot I missed. Well, now, her down. Okay. Angles matter, I guess. Hmm. Okay. What's left? We probably will need fence caps. Fence railings. Where, though? Where did I miss a smidge? Now, hold up. Where? Where are you claiming I missed? Oh, I see where you. Yeah. Really, though? Like, you can't let me have that? You can't ping me on that one? Come on, bruh. Come on, bruh. Just ping me, bruh. Lord. It's not letting me clean it. God fucking damn it. There. You can't. Where, oh, where is this bullshit? Where? Where's the dirt? Where? Well, I'm trying to clean it, but you won't let me. God damn it. Fuck off, game. No. Fence walls. Okay. Where? Where's the dirt? Okay. Garage walls. Oh boy. Well, that's probably going to mean changing our doohickey. I have this super long nozzle now. Okay. So it's probably going to be right over here. Well, the problem is it blends in. I can't. Like, how am I to know where the dirt is? Because the orange blinky, the orange blinking just blends right the hell in. We might have to change the color uh, just for this one mission, but I don't know how to do that. Is that something we can do while we're... Default orange. Green? Will green stand out enough? Kinda. I can kinda see. Bam. He made this hard as balls, though, didn't he? Platform. I'm going to assume they mean porch. Let's see. All right, Mr. Mayor. Yeah. I'm going to be something one day. I'm going to make something out of myself. I'm going to night school. That's right. He's going to be mayor. Yeah. Now, I like the sound of that. A black mayor? That'll be the day. Mayor Golden Wilson. I like the sound of that. He did become mayor, too. Shit. And we changed the color to green, so now it is blending in with the bushes. Let's go back to orange. Because I'm not seeing where. See, now this is interesting because, like, how do you guys see it? I'm not seeing any dirt. Oh, there. Wall bases. I see a little bit of dirt. Hey, big business. Earn 100 stars in career mode. Career mode. Career mode. Hell yeah. Many thanks for your work, Dirt Finder. That's more like the kind of magnificent mansion you'd conclude with. A multi-million pound deal inside, is it not? Well, this game must have been made by Brits. If they're using pounds. Have we been in Europe this whole time? Is that why there's an active volcano? Clean the carousel. Okay. Doing the traveling cargo pigeon. Okay, that's too long. Didn't read. No. Name is Kevin Bernard, proprietor of the Wingelorf Carnivals. Helter Skelter. Please state your business. Well, I've been hired to clean this. Do you not want me to clean it? I tell you what, though. I don't want to hear that music for however long it takes us to clean this thing. I tell you that much. That much right now. All right, that's not going to work. Too janky with keyboard and mouse controls for that. I can do it this way, though. I've been to a few traveling like carnivals, but they always set them up in parking lots and they're pretty small. And I've never really ridden any of the rides. I just kind of walk around and look at them. I don't trust any rides. I don't trust them. I've always been a bigger guy, tall, heavy set. I don't trust the equipment. I don't guess I've ever really been a fan of the circus to begin with. It's very off putting. Again, it's the forced merriment. Well, it's the same thing I say about Christmas. Like, no. I don't like the way they treat animals. Carnies always have like the most kill me face, like they hate their life. All the games that are supposed to be chance are usually rigged in their favor to keep you spending money. Like, oh no. Carnivals are not good. I don't like them. Theme park, kind of the same way, but I'll try and enjoy myself at the theme park. Carnival, no. No. I don't like carnivals. I don't like them. I've never been to one of the big tent carnivals, but I like them even less than the little parking lot traveling ones. And if your country doesn't have those, then be grateful, because they're terrible. We have them here where I live, and you never know when they're coming either. They just pop up one day in like the Walmart parking lot or an empty vacant lot to a failed closed business somewhere, which we have a ton of. I'm amazed that the carousel still works after being this filthy. It's the same as like I was talking about with politics earlier. It's all an illusion. It's the illusion of choice. We're not supposed to have the feudal system here in the states. It's supposed to be like, uh, how do you explain it? I think the general adult watching this gets how things are supposed to work and supposed to be set up, but it's still the class system. It's still feudalism. It's just hidden. It's not even that well hidden. It's just pretty screamingly obvious, but like it's all an illusion. And I think that was what caused me to spiral when I was a teenager too. Um, wow, we have pretty good free range of motion here. Knocked over all the coconuts. Yeah, I became really disillusioned with things in my teens. Like I started to piece together how the system works. I started to piece together, things for myself, and I knew that it was all bullshit. And I was like, okay. And I started reading more in my 20s. I read Animal Farm, I read 1984, and that kind of sent it home or brought it home for me. Really made me kind of understand how the world actually works a lot more. Unfortunately, today though, a lot of people will use those books as arguments when they don't like something, like if they don't like a certain policy or they don't like legislation that's being passed, or they feel that their freedoms are being stepped on in the name of like national security, like post 9/11 society here in the States. um, what with all of the cameras that popped up, all of the airport security that you have to go through now that you didn't pre 9/11. Everybody likes to cite George Orwell's, works, but we were fucked long before that, I promise. But no, despite my views, on our society, like I said, we were back there at the mayor's mansion. I did my best. I tried to be as informed as I could making decisions, and in the end, it didn't matter. It just didn't matter. The ruling elite have total control of the pieces on the board, the game itself, the board itself. We never stood a chance, ever. And you might call me a conspiracy theorist for that, or say I'm an alarmist, or I'm just being negative, but by the time you reach 40 years old, if you haven't come to the conclusion that the entire world is one giant pyramid scheme, I feel sorry for you. Because early society humans were hunter gatherers who were kind of nomadic and roamed around. Early humans didn't really, plant their flag and start farming until way later down the road. And I think that's ultimately what screwed us. Now it's just the sheer number of humans on the planet. That's what's fucking us at the moment. There's too many people. And I don't know if you guys have noticed this, and this is going to be some biting commentary, and people ain't going to like this, but the people who have like 12 kids at a time are usually the most ill equipped to have any children whatsoever. They're either religious types who believe in the quiverful movement, or they're super poor, miseducated, low intelligent, kind of knuckle dragging Neanderthals who just can't stop reproducing, even though they don't have any means to take care of their children or make them really productive members of society. They'll just keep pumping them out like it's a sport. Please stop. Just stop. And again, it goes back to education. Before we had all of the modern things that we have now, all the modern conveniences, we have penicillin, we have I can go to the doctor and get antibiotics for almost anything. I can get emergency surgery if my appendix is about to explode. We've come so far. You don't need to have 8 children anymore. The infant mortality rate is the lowest it's ever been in the history of humankind. Children survive now. We have the means to make sure they survive. We live in a modern world. Most everybody has like heating and indoor plumbing, and your baby's not going to just suddenly collapse into a pile of ash in its crib and die. And I'm excluding SIDS from that, equation, but like, yeah, that's the only reason, honestly. I think people haven't been taught that they don't need to have 28 children anymore. They just do it. Now, like I said, with religious people, they do it because they want as many fresh minds that they can manipulate as possible. Because if you have 12 children and you teach them your religion and send them out in the world to have 12 children of their own, then in theory, it doesn't really work that way, because people grow up and decide for themselves what they want to believe. But in that parent's mind, they're like, well, I'm creating a little army for my God of choice. Tell you what we really need. We really need a like a virus, like a sci-fi virus to come along that really fucks up human procreation, slows it down. Although I say that, and that's already they've done that before in different movies and shows and stuff, and that didn't really work too well either. So I don't know. I don't know. For me personally, I just don't give a shit now. I still have to go vote for the president because I can't let them win completely. But I've definitely evolved to the point of like fuck it mentality. So I can't be bothered, you know. It's one of the reasons that in early 2025 or late 2024, I said on my channel, I believe we've talked enough about religion and politics and my physical health and mental health. We've talked and talked and talked till I'm blue in the face about me personally. How about we just enjoy ourselves and stop talking about this stuff? But today, I felt like I really wanted to get all of this off my chest and talk about it. There's no reason I can't once in a blue moon, like casually just talk about this stuff. Part of life. As long as I don't make it an every episode thing, we should be all right. But, eh. And two, the older you get, the more you realize that your own personal peace is like the most precious thing to you. And you start protecting that more. Um, I saw something on Threads last night as I was laying in bed. I saved these pictures to my phone. Where'd they go? Let's see if I can pull them up. Yeah, here they are. There was some really good free advice for life. It's like, as you get older and you start to want to protect your peace, there's a few things you can do in social situations. If you're not invited to something, but you notice that your other friends might have been invited or your family might have invited, but you weren't, don't go. Pretend the event doesn't even exist. Was your invite late? Reject it. Don't go. They couldn't respect you enough to invite you on time like they did everybody else. It's an invitation is what it is. Now, obviously, accidents happen. Maybe they mailed it and it got late and lost in the mail. Now, I'm not talking about X factors. I'm talking about purposeful people like doing it on purpose, like sending it late. It's an invitation, is what it is. I might did I get that joke from Seinfeld? I might have. Are people making you wait too long? Were you supposed to meet a group of friends for lunch or a relative for something, and they've kept you waiting 10, that turns into 20, that turns into 30, that turns into 45? Well, your time is very limited on this planet. Leave. Fuck them. People need to learn that you have boundaries, and you need to get it into your thick skull that you need to set boundaries. We let people walk over us way too much. Way too much. Are people ignoring you? Maybe you're in a Discord server and you notice that people aren't really responding to your post as much as they're responding to other people. Your family texting your brothers or sisters, aunts and uncles, and you're not really getting as many replies, maybe on Facebook too, whatever it might happen to be, disappear. You will be so better off not chasing other people. Do not chase other people. Let them come to you. Texting you only when they're interested. Now, this is one I have a problem with. When people text you and they're not there to say, hi, how are you doing? How was your week? I hadn't heard from you. I'm catching up. If they're strictly there, like, hey, can you come over and fix my sink? Hey, can I have a ride here, there, yonder? Don't answer it. You have X amount, you have a finite amount of time alive in this reality before you die. No human that's ever lived or will ever live can cheat death. It's a matter of reality. And if they can't respect you and they're only hitting you up when they want something, don't give them the satisfaction as so much as a reply. Teach them by letting that message they sent just sit there for weeks or months. When people don't prioritize, this one's tricky because everybody's busy. So you might mistake people not prioritizing you. And it might just be that they don't have time for you because you don't know how they're treating everybody else necessarily all the time either. What they do to you, they might be doing to everybody. So bear that in mind too, when I'm giving all of these little life lessons here or advice here. But if you have kind of figured out that they're just not prioritizing your friendship, relationship, or whatever, and they're like, maybe they only hit you up when they're very lonely, or maybe they only hit you up when everybody else hasn't answered. Like maybe all their friends are at work or asleep. Maybe it's 3 a.m. and they can't reach anybody but you. Don't be somebody's last contact, basically. If people are making you doubt yourself to the point where it's become a detriment to your life, leave them in the dust. If people are, if it's even at work, like, of course, that's a whole other thing at work. Work relationships should be work relationships. They should be parasocial at best. It shouldn't be like it is outside of work. But if you have a friend or an acquaintance or a family member or whatever that's just constantly making you doubt your abilities, doubt yourself, they're gaslighting the hell out of you, for the love of God, do not interact, do not engage, have nothing to do with that bullshit. It's not worth your time. One of the other big ones is if they hurt you, just go away. Everybody's going to make mistakes. Everybody is going to have an emotional day where maybe they say something they can't take back. Sometimes maybe you're getting on somebody's nerves and it's all your own fault. Maybe they've done nothing wrong and they snap at you. That's not what I mean in this scenario. When people constantly hurt you, maybe they're constantly snarky and not in a good, like, buddies ripping on each other way. Whatever it might happen to be. If people are constantly, if you're taking damage from people constantly, go away. Have nothing to do with them. Make them go away. And I don't mean kill them. God, no. Sorry, I've been watching. I went down the rabbit hole of true crime, and I just hurt myself when I said make them go away. No, make them get out of your life. You know what I mean? Like, just have nothing else to do with them because they don't deserve your time. I don't know why my nose is so runny lately. I'm not sick, but all I'm doing is sneezing. All right, and the last one that I saw was compare you with others. Here's the thing that took my dumbass too long to learn. If somebody is constantly talking to you about other people, then I guarantee you at 110% they are talking to those people about you as well. You need to learn that at a very young age and get that through your thick skull. People who are constantly talking about other people without it being face to face don't have anything to do with those people. They're bad people. But if they're comparing you to others constantly, well, my buddy George has this and this, and you don't have it. And, if everything is a competition, fuck it, leave them in the dust. And that's kind of the point that I reached all the way back in 2023. I woke up one day, I had this epiphany of like total abandonment because all the friends that I had from like 2007 all the way up to 2015 or 16, they had all left and had minimum to no contact with me. And when I started doing YouTube, the contact went down even further. And eventually I just never heard from any of these my friends or acquaintances again. They all just kind of left. And I got to a point where I just stopped chasing them because it felt like I was desperate for these people's time and friendship and attention, and they were not reciprocating. So it was like, Eric, take the hint at a certain point, you know. Um, but then again, I've had friends that have stuck around that still do these things. They don't really care about me as a person. They only care about checking in with me because they're scared that they haven't talked to me in weeks or months. They maybe, you know, maybe they'll send a text or maybe they'll pop in the Discord and say something, even though we've not talked in months without it being in general chat in the Discord. So it's, you know, I've spent so much of my life not having decent relationships with people. Um, Honestly, the one golden friendship that I've had is Tyler. Um, and I've not even been the best to him. I'm definitely like guilty of I back when I was going through it the past 8 years, there's been plenty of times where I've badmouthed him, or hell, I've even done it on the show before. Had something negative to say. I remember one time, way back at the beginning of my channel, I was doing a Pokemon X playthrough. We were doing every Pokemon game in order, and I'd gotten up to Pokemon X. And some of the friends that I'd made in the 20 teens were in my chat, and they had met Tyler, and they didn't like him. And they were kind of bad mouthing him. And because I was in such a dark place, I was kind of bad mouthing him too. And thank Christ on his throne, I came to my senses. I was like, what am I doing? What am I saying? What the heck? I felt possessed. I was like, oh, I was so like mad. Like I was pissed at myself and confused. I felt brainwashed. And I ended up deleting that. Not only did I end up deleting that playthrough, I ended up deleting every Pokemon playthrough I had done for the exception of Pokemon Blue. One stream, one episode out of hundreds is all it took for me to realize that the only person who's never screwed me over and has been in my corner, like religiously in my corner my entire life, I'm bad mouthing him in this stream. I was like, no, 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 no. Never again. I can pick it up. I don't know where I'm supposed to put them, but I did get an achievement for knocking over the coconuts over there. Ooh, I bet I'm supposed to put them on the horses and let them have a ride. Well, we'll do that when we get this place all cleaned up. But yeah, you never you never really stop learning. That's another thing they don't teach you when you're a kid, is like you'll keep learning life lessons till the last day you're alive on earth. You could be 100 years old and you're still going to be learning life lessons that you should have learned ages ago. So it's a process of trial and error, but at the end of the day, you need to realize, you really need to prioritize honestly yourself over anything else. Because here's the thing. You will spend more time with yourself than any other human alive. Like it at the end of the day, You're living up here with yourself. You're up here and you have to be good with what's going on up there. But setting boundaries for yourself is something that a lot of people don't do, and it I can't stress enough you how important it is. You should be doing it. Everybody really needs to focus on setting those boundaries. You really, really do. It's getting pretty dark outside. At this point, I'm just washing off the surface level dirt. This job is going to take a good. It's probably going to take a couple of streams to get this done because we got to come in here and when I looked it up the other day because I thought the mansion was going to be the finale. When I googled it, it said no. Not only is the mansion the halfway point, jobs starting now forward are going to get more annoying. You're going to have to start using more ladders. You're going to have to start using more high pressured nozzles. Like Google was very clear about, no, you're about to have to start really putting the work in to get these places clean. And I could see that. So we typically get one area done per episode, although there have been a couple of instances where we've had to do there are some areas that we've had to break down into multiple episodes, but the vehicles have always been real quick and real easy to do. But I think going forward, some of these places might end up being multi-episode. And if this game really is as big as Google's making it out to be, then yeah, we've kind of been off more than we could chew, and we might be playing this game a lot longer than I thought we would. Which again, totally fine. I love this game. Um, I have really enjoyed coming in and just talking off the cuff. Especially giving how many sleep streams I've done over the years, where I'm just kind of not talking and just sitting here. Yeah. 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 But they do say that you want to, when it comes to living your life, you want to reach old age with as few regrets as possible. And I'm already at 40, full of them, full of many, many regrets, not having done things differently or whatever. But, instead of harping on the regrets, I've chosen to acknowledge them, then move on. Focus on what I can do now. Yeah, see. Regular spray is not really getting it done here. Yesterday we did Simpsons Hit and Run. We did Lisa's segment, and my God, it is the most annoying segment in the game. I think Apu's is even more annoying, which I didn't remember how long that game was. I'm only halfway through Simpsons Hit and Run too. Apparently, Marge's segment is next, and then you have to do an Apu segment, another Homer segment, and I think one more. Maybe another Bart. I don't remember. But Lisa's whole segment really felt phoned in. I was like, where's Bart? Where's Bart? I gotta find Bart. It was not the funnest. I failed constantly and had to keep redoing missions. Ooh, it was tough, but we got there. We got it done eventually. Even the lights are corroded. I keep forgetting I can right click and just let it go. It's a relief on the old finger, the pointer finger. Ah, you horse's ass. Hello. Hey, was that our first ping? Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. If it keeps getting darker outside, I'm gonna have to turn on a light. And it's only 1:41 p.m. I have noticed that we're past the darkest part of the year. Like we've passed the winter solstice. So instead of getting dark at 4:30 in the afternoon, it's now making it to about 5 before it gets dark. I'm so happy. That November December stretch is the hardest part every year. Hardest part every year. You get that seasonal depression. Ooh. But the days are slowly getting longer. Spring will be here in no time. I can't wait. I got myself a new bird feeder set up. I'm getting my hummingbird feeder all set up. Well, no, I mean, the days will still be short all through January and February, but it won't be like 4:30 in the afternoon short. You know what I mean? That shit's for the birds. I hate it. So it's like I said, it's been getting dark around 4:55 p.m. Now it'll take another 2 or 3 months before it starts getting significant, because it'll stay getting dark at 5 p.m. for another month or two before it really starts to roll back to a noticeable degree. But ooh, I'm not a fan of the early nighttime. Did you know that I've used more than 10,000 liters of water during my gameplay, contributing to the drying up of lakes and wetlands on the planet? Oh my god. Where are you getting those statistics from? That's scary to think about. Yeah, what do you mean for you it's all year round? The day and night cycles don't get too, they don't. Please check your job planner as a matter of urgency. No, I'm doing one job at a time. My helter skelter is filthy. I don't even know what a helter skelter is. I've heard that term before, and I don't know what it is. Oh. 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 Yeah, this is going to be rough. Because not only are we getting all the surface dirt, but we got to come back in and get all of the grime that's not coming off. Too close. Jeez. Exaggerate what you said about November, December. You had dynamite for breakfast today. I did not get to bed on time last night, and they woke me up by being really noisy outside my door this morning. So I woke up and then had to lay back down after a few hours and get a couple of more hours of sleep. So I'm not at my best today. I'm going to have kind of a meh day. Oh my God. Now this game has officially become tedious because it's not coming clean easily. Oh my. Oh, you should have been here earlier for the mayor's mansion. That was stupid. You missed the worst job we've done yet. Yeah. He wouldn't let us onto the property to do the job. We had to do it through the fence. How dumb is that? Ugh. Some people make no sense. We're gonna have to get a ladder to do that part up there. Screening suspicious call. Thank you, Google. I appreciate that. I used to get more than I do now, but I'm still getting more. One is too many. One is already too many. You shouldn't be calling me. Suspicious number. My God. These horses are absolutely filthy. Filthy, filthy, filthy. Oh. Hmm. Hey. We definitely won't get this job done today. We're going to have to break this up into multiple days. Have to come back in and tackle this tomorrow. I don't know. That's a good question. How many locations did you clear? I'd have to go in and look. There's no way we're 50% clear. Look how much dirt we've left behind. I don't believe that for a second. I hear birds. Yes, I do. Birdie, bird, bird. Oof. These poor horses. Would someone please think of the children? They should give Helen Lovejoy a mission in Simpsons Hit and Run so that I can get her in a car and just keep running her off a cliff and killing her. Because I may have talked about how much I hate Krusty the Clown the other day, but she is probably my most hated Simpsons character of all time. She embodies everything that annoys me about church women. Or just busybodies in general who don't know how to tend to their own life. She's the original Karen. Helen Lovejoy, she's the Reverend's wife in The Simpsons. Reverend Lovejoy. Well, we're clearing a lot of these lights, which is good. Now my ears gonna start itching. Mm. The preacher's wife, you'd know her if you saw her. Trust me, you'd know. She's always mean to Marge, or she's mean to most everybody. Mm. Oh God, how did I miss this side? Yeesh. Okay. Oh, missed the spot. Okay, I think that's all the surface level dirt, like that stands out immediately. Um, what we'll have to do next is get the ladder and climb up top and work on that. And like I said, according to what I Googled, the missions are now going to start being more intense. So you're going to have to start using different nozzles and soaps and stuff to really get in there. Because surface level water is not going to get it done anymore. Google also said we're going to have to start using more ladders to get up to start. We're going to start seeing more elevated areas that we really have to start climbing for. So look at that. Yeah. See, that blue is not coming. That graffiti is not coming off with the other spray. Wow. Whoever painted on this, like I thought that blue on the saddle was part of it. It's not. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's going to start getting more tricky as we go. I do want to clean one whole horse the whole way. Get you from a different angle. Oh, Lord. They just went ham on you, didn't they, buddy? Oh, it's a unicorn. Stars in the upper right corner indicate the difficulty level. I don't know. Maybe. I really haven't thought about that. Probably. I don't know. We can check. Give me just a second to finish this horse and I'll look into all of that. Sorry, unicorn. Unicorn. Aw. But probably, yeah. More than likely. I'll wash your ass. Hang on. Every angle. It is Ponyta, isn't it? I guess Ponyta and Rapidash are not, they're not horses. They're, hey, we got it. One horse clean or one unicorn queen. Yeah, I guess I never really stopped to think about that before, but there are other horse Pokemon like Mudsdale and whatnot, but I guess Ponyta and Rapidash are specifically unicorn Pokemon. Hmm. Lord help me. You're clean. I hit you from every angle. There's no dirt left. So picky. The horse is clean, but the bar isn't. It's just gonna have to stay dirty. Where is the burp. I nearly fell over. No, I didn't mean to pick you up. Lord, I missed this entire side of you. Well, I'm not going to perfectly get you all clean today. I at least want to get the surface level dirt. Or how I missed you. All right. Well, we got the most of it, and that's what matters. We come back in tomorrow. Ponyta doesn't have a horn, Rapidash does. Yeah, that's true. Thinking about it, Ponyta doesn't. Well, The horn just hasn't come in yet. Anywho, with Pokemon, evolution definitely is separate from aging. It's tricky with Pokemon. Because you can have elderly Pokemon that are still base form. Even in the anime, they tackled that. Like they've shown elderly starter Pokemon before. Like that, they showed a Trico one time that was very elderly. He had wrinkles and everything, but he was still a Trico, still in his first form. So theoretically, a Pokemon can go its entire life and die of old age and never evolve. It happens. All right, if I don't make myself leave, I'm just going to keep washing these horses. Or unicorn. Yeah. I'm going to go have some lunch. Well, a little late for lunch, but I still need to put something on my stomach. I'm getting a little weary. Oh, I didn't even think to look around up here. I think this area is the biggest, most open area they've let us play around in yet. It's nice. And I guess I got that achievement before you came in earlier into chat. Um, the baby Nina Queen. Well, that's a special case. That's where the animators fucked up, but then they kind of, fans will explain it away. Yeah, before you came in earlier, I walked over here and shot down these coconuts, and it gave me an achievement. Yeah, that a lot of fans have explained that away because Mewtwo used the cloning equipment that they left behind on that island, and he cloned all of the adult Pokemon, which then, when they had their babies, they had baby versions of themselves instead of the actual like starter Pokemon that they, because like Nino Queen should have birthed a baby Nidoran instead of a baby Nino Queen. People have made jokes about that over the years, but I honestly believe it was just a fuck up in the animation department, in the storytelling department. I don't think they were thinking too much about it, unless maybe they did. Maybe they did it on purpose. I don't know. It is crazy though. It's nuts, but it happened. Mewtwo Returns is still probably one of, if not the best animated movie out of the entire movie canon. And I stopped paying attention at a certain point because they just got too stupid, unfortunately. Like they went the way of Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Z movies were always like good. I really like the Dragon Ball Z movies, but you could go the entire span of Dragon Ball Z and never watch any of the movies and never be none the wiser that any of the movie stuff even happened. But Pokemon was kind of designed the same way. You could watch the entire show forever and never have seen any of the movies. And it really didn't play into the canon of the show. It didn't work the other way around, though. If you've never seen an episode of the Pokemon anime ever and you went to the theater to watch the movie, you're like, what the hell is this crazy gibberish? But yeah, I think that's where I'm going to wrap it up. We're at 152. I need to stop doing 2-hour episodes. That's what I've been doing lately. All my episodes are getting longer and longer as I'm trying to cover more and more ground. But I'm going to go. I'm going to have a late lunch. And I might just make this kind of a meh sit around day. Because I've been running hard the past few weeks without really taking any rest time. So I think I'm gonna be a lazy today. But I'll come back in and work on this again tomorrow, unless I decide to do The Simpsons tomorrow, at which point this will be picked up in a few days. Saturday we're gonna play Skyrim. So yeah. Um I'm gonna play Skyrim every Saturday from now on. Saturdays are going to be our Bethesda days from now on. When we finish Skyrim, we're gonna work on Fallout 4. We finish Fallout 4, we'll work on Oblivion. We finish Oblivion, we'll work on something else. But from now on, Saturdays are gonna be our Bethesda days. And then the rest of the week will just be whatever games we're working on at the moment. Yeah, 64. Nintendo 64. You know what? Before we go, let's clean this star. Maybe not. It's not, fuck it. It's not coming clean easy. Fuck off. Is that the volcano over there? Yeah, apparently we're in Europe. I should have been tipped off earlier about this. I may have even said something about it, but yeah. This game takes place in Europe.